BBAI stock is up big today, and then it was down. If you take a look at the recent moves, we've had this big, basically surge right at pre-markets. We saw it surge up here to about 368, 369, and then it just sold off right at market open. Take a look at that dive that we saw. We didn't end up trading the dip, however, we could have, as it's recovered from the dip at market open right here around 6:50 a.m. It recovered about 6%, which is pretty substantial. I mean, the same thing happened over here actually on TSLL or Tesla stock. Not as dramatic of a recovery, but we ended up buying that same dip in the market at market open, and you can see it's up about $145 profit so far. We'll see if we close out the day. We might actually end up selling this before the end of this video, depending on how it looks. But when it comes to BBAI, it is absolutely on a track for bullish momentum as it validated this support. So something we kind of talked about. We said there's a few levels at which it could bounce. The first, it's in this market of AI, and you see that it's starting to get momentum. It surged from $2.40 up to $4 and then started to sell back down. And recently, today, you can see it was selling off, but it found support at this level at around $3.20. If we just take a look back here, you kind of see this level at which it bounced today right here at 320. It's a pretty strong level. Previous resistance, as you can see, previous resistance, see that level right there where it's gotten rejected at $3.20. So Big Bear AI essentially found that as support. So previous resistance acting as support there, starting to bounce up today. The question is, will it hold this level and continue up throughout the week, or are we going to see maybe some breaks here? Kind of depends. There's a couple things we got going on. If you just kind of search up stock market, let's just say big tech. I don't normally do this, but take a look at some of the news. Mixed ahead of big tech reports. So you got reports from Amazon, you got reports from Apple, and some other Magnificent Seven that are going to be reporting earnings. And you got Microsoft in there as well as Broadcom. I don't know that this week is going to be the week, but if you just take a look at SPY in its recovery today is quite impressive. You see that it's sold off. This is right when we actually ended up exiting a lot of our bear positions that were going up when the market was going down, and we bought this. You can see SPY literally since beginning of April has recovered about 12%, and it's starting to maybe begin this new trend. If you take a look just kind of like a year back, you take a look at this dip, it's been quite significant. Take a look at that dip on SPY. And if you just take a even further look out, this is the reason why Big Bear AI might also capitalize on a reversal. If we see a V-shaped pattern similar to what we saw, say here 2020 or back in 2022, and we do see the market maybe recover, this could be huge. On the other hand, it's possible it still continues down or loses some momentum, and that would be probably due to the Fed reports today. So if you guys search Fed, you got Fed meeting, almost always the market's going to have some commentary around the Fed meetings. And today it looks like 1 p.m. they got a meeting there, and signals rates will remain unchanged. Maybe that just happened. As you can see 4 minutes ago, rates are remaining unchanged despite market bets on looming cuts. So essentially, maybe investors were really looking forward to rates getting, maybe not rates getting cut essentially, so that you might see some of the markets react positively as the market's been selling off. But nope, they said we're holding rates as they are. So we'll see how investor sentiment holds. It looks like overall SPY had a nice recovery today. So let's jump back into Big Bear AI. There's three things we can look at with Big Bear right now. First, the technicals, seeing it hold that level at 320. If we start to see this recovery continue or this uptrend, we're talking about 10 to 20% upside if the bulls stay in check with Big Bear AI. So we'll see how that plays out on the technical side. A little bit overextended just in the day. Maybe it sells down, but overall, we're starting to see this more momentum starting to pull up. It's possible that we see it sell back down though, as it did get rejected here. So that's what we're looking for. I would expect it's going to break out more and we'll see it continue up further, and we won't see a full sell-off here, and that this is the support that we found before potential continuation. That's how I see it. Now, when it comes down to Big Bear AI, the second piece is the analysis of the financials. So increases in revenue, they just passed $1 billion market cap, or actually they're sitting right around $1 billion. Financials are showing signs of growth. If you look at the revenue growth, see that 33 million, 39 million in revenue, 41 million in that quarter, and then 43 million in that quarter. With some of the debt paydowns and then recent net profit margins in that last quarter not looking hot, but the quarter before, they're starting to see maybe some improvements quarter over quarter. So we'll see how it plays out. The revenues and financials have been a little shaky, but overall revenues have been good. Then you have to ask yourself, okay, financials look all right. Maybe they're paying down debt, but what gives? Are they doing anything that's actually innovating? You can take a look at some of their contracts. They have a few contracts related to their POS system for face recognition, but they have Department of Defense. They have some Army contracts. You'll see that they have biometric boarding solutions for Denver International Airport. I can confirm it is in fact there. I got on a flight. They scanned my face. They had the Big Bear logo and everything. So I know 100% it's real. It's happening right now. And their contracts are turning into real solutions for real places. They also were awarded this $165 million contract for Army to help with their information processing. And essentially what they do, they have IDIQ contracts. So that means they're on-demand help for the government. And then when you take a look at where they kind of fit in, they're working with the Pentagon. They're working with the different border defense as well as Department of Defense. And then you just take a look. A really good example they have on their site is this picture. You got maybe a picture of something. It's identifying the different ships that are in the harbor and where they're going, where they're traveling to, and different things they do at each point. Those are really important for the U.S. to know at different ports, maybe in, let's say, Panama Canal, or maybe in Seattle, or over in New York, or maybe down by San Diego, something like that, or San Francisco. All these different entry points, Miami, for example, they're able to see how things are moving in and exactly what it is that they're doing when they're moving through the ports. So you have that, then you have the facial recognition software. So they're doing the technology for essentially traveling through. So you got travel. Someone was like, Will, what was that joke you were making about Big Brother? Some people didn't get it, but if you guys ever read that book 1984, Big Brother's watching you. Essentially, like everything that you're doing is being watched, and Big Brother sees all and sees everything that you're doing. It's a little propaganda. It's actually pretty funny to compare the two, because they're so heavily engrossed in the government, right? But when it comes down to some of our positions and how we're planning to trade Big Bear AI as we get into the margins for profit, I think risk maybe a little bit lower at this level. We'll see how it reacts at market open. If we see it hold this level, most likely we'll be buying it, depending on some of the price action. And if we see it drop even further, most likely we'll see how it reacts at that level. We got to catch this last swing here from here to here, 65% swing. So if you guys ever want to watch us trade live at market open, it's the second link in the description. I would encourage you guys to simply take a look. Thank you guys so much for watching. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts down below on Big Bear AI. And if I earned it, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.